Hello friends! Okay, so today's topic is one which actually Han and I did a podcast episode on quite recently, but it's something that I've had a few questions relating to, and I really wanted to come on and just talk about it. As I say, I do recommend, if this is a topic you're interested in, checking out our podcast episode. I will link the name of our podcast episode in the information below. It's Unrestricted. We're on Spotify, but there's an episode that we've recently done all about this topic, so have a little listen to that. But what I want to talk about today is the idea of waking up at night hungry. And it is something that on a personal level, I relate to this in a big way. In fact, I remember very much that when I went into recovery, my sleep deteriorated significantly. It wasn't great when I was in my eating disorder, sort of actively engaging in it. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't great. But actually, one of the things I expected was that when I went into recovery, my sleep would improve, and the opposite ended up happening. My sleep actually got worse. I found that it was harder to fall asleep, and I also found that I was waking up throughout the night, and I was often waking up really early as well, with my body basically being like, breakfast! And so what I'm wanting to get across in this video is the very simple reality that if you are waking up in the night hungry, what you need to do is go and honour that. You need to go and honour it. Doesn't matter what was had the day before. It doesn't matter how much you had just before going to bed. It doesn't matter what you're doing the next day. If you are waking up at any point, if you are struggling to fall asleep, if you have woken up really early, doesn't matter what point it is, you need to honour that hunger. So, zooming in a little bit more, a couple of things. One, if you are someone who finds themselves lying in bed at night, trying to go to sleep, but you are just thinking about the next day. You're thinking about what breakfast is going to be, what you're going to have at lunch, like what you're going to do that evening, what you're going to have at the cinema when you go the next day, like whatever it is, those food-centric thoughts, that mental hunger that is keeping you awake at night, maybe it's stopping you from falling to sleep, maybe it's waking you up, you need to be getting up and going and honouring that hunger. Right then, right there, irrespective of everything, irrespective of judgment, irrespective of anything your eating disorder tries to use as like a reason why, oh no, you can't, whether that's, oh, it's going to be too noisy, or oh, you're going to be tired in the morning, and oh, no. If you are in recovery, there is only one recovery aligned option with this, and that is getting up and honouring that hunger. So a couple of things that can be really helpful are, one, making sure that you go to bed fully satisfied, 100% fully satisfied, really making your mission. Now, this may well mean that you go to bed with the best intentions, you brush your teeth, you're like, yeah, I'm fully satisfied, this is great. You get into bed, you lie down, and within like 10 seconds, you're suddenly like, oh wait, no, I'm thinking about food again. And it's annoying, you know? So much about recovery, I think, when we talk in these kind of spaces, can be like, yay, recovery, this is so great, you're getting your life back. And it is that, but also there's lots about recovery that is hard and annoying and frustrating. And this is definitely one of those ones when you get in bed and you have honoured your hunger without restriction, and you do believe that you are fully satisfied, and you've brushed your teeth and you get into bed and you're like, oh, bed. And then you instantly start noticing yourself thinking about food, and you're like, oh, really? But the you who knows that there's only one option, gets up, goes downstairs, makes some food, does it, continues that process as much as you need to be fully satisfied, and then also continues it in the night if you find yourself waking up again, or that process repeats, or you wake up really early. Like, that is the you who is doing the work that's going to be paving the way to a sleep that is not disrupted by hunger. When we look at this, what's actually happening is the you who is in an energy deprived state has a hierarchy of needs in which food is becoming above sleep. And this is something that's important to recognise in terms of the shift into recovery, that what happens is when you go into recovery and you start honouring your hunger and you start showing your body that food is available, actually sleep gets worse because your body, it knows that food is needed more than sleep, but when it's scarce, what is the value of your body saying, oh, wake up, food, 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 if it doesn't believe there's any food available? Whereas when you're in recovery and you're showing your body that food's available, that's very much where this hierarchy acutely shifts. And your body basically goes, sorry, food's abundantly available, we're energy deprived, we need that, that's more important than sleep right now. And again, it's very frustrating, but the only way through this is through it, or the only way out of this is through it. The only way for you to get to that place where actually you just fall asleep and you have a nice long sleep, and then you wake up normally in the morning and you think, oh, I'm a bit hungry now, I'm going to go and get some breakfast. That place that you want to get to, where you're not having your sleep disrupted by hunger, the only way to get there is by allowing your body to do the refeeding that it needs to do to be able to get there. So that's some really important things, making sure that you are going to bed to the best of your ability, fully satisfied. Something else I think is really useful is having snacks and food in your room, like by your bed. So having a drawer in your bedside cabinet that is full of snacks of varying different varieties, whatever it is, but full of stuff there, especially prioritizing that energy dense, hyperpalatable foods, the stuff that your eating sort of disapproves of, all of that stuff, making sure that it's there. And the reason why this can be useful is because sometimes in recovery, when you do wake up in the night and there is a lot of resistance, having something right there can be a real tool to set you up to win, because you're taking away some of the steps that would have to happen between you acknowledging that hunger and then actioning it. So actually by having it right there, you are setting yourself up to win. You're making it easier for you to do the thing that you want to do, that recovery aligned decision. It also can be really useful if you are someone who is struggling with quite a lot of fatigue in recovery as well, and you're finding that you are really tired and you're really sleepy, but you're also waking up and you're really hungry and you're really struggling with that. It can be very useful in those settings to have stuff right by your bed so that you can be honouring that hunger and then also dropping back into sleep. Another thing that is really important with this is not to tickle your hunger in this setting. Now, I've done a video about the idea of tickling your hunger and what the opposite action of that would look like. And in this example of nighttime hunger, it's very, very important that you are vigilant about this. So that means when you wake up and you acknowledge the fact that you're thinking about food and you have that moment of, right, I'm hungry. So you've had that awareness. And eating disorder at that point jumps in with all of its different suggestions for what, if you are going to have something, you should have this and that, all the different versions of suggestions that it will come up with in that moment for what is okay somewhat to have in this setting. What is really important is that the you who is getting up, and whether that is that you're reaching to that drawer by your bed or whether it's that you're getting up and going downstairs and making yourself something, you need to be honouring what it is that your body is wanting in that moment, with a real focus on, like I said, the stuff that is high energy dense, hyperpalatable. It's the stuff that your brain is likely to be thinking about, the stuff that your mental hunger is guiding you towards, and the stuff that your eating disorder disapproves of. Really, really important here that you do not go downstairs and grab a banana and then eat it and then go back upstairs and then think, oh, I'm not satisfied. And then start in that awful place where you have pissed off your eating disorder a little bit by going and doing something, but you have also absolutely only just tickled the surface on your body's hunger. So your body rightfully is going, no, we don't want that. We want lots and lots of toast and a big old bowl of granola. That's what we want, thank you very much. We don't want a banana. And you are then in that place in the middle of that civil war between eating disorder being a bit pissed off, but also like, no, that's it, you've done that, right, now that's it, full stop, now we go on, we go back to sleep. And your body rightfully saying, well, thanks for getting up, but that's not going to cut it. We want more than that. So it's really, really important in this situation that you do your very, very best to not tickle that hunger and to actually go and honour what it is that your body is asking for in that moment. And as I said, if it's unclear, if you find yourself that at nighttime is a time where you're particularly prone to that indecision, having some go-to things is really useful. I think I've spoken about this before, but the idea of having a handful, 2 or 3 go-to things, which are energy dense, which are things that you like and things that your eating sort of doesn't like, is really, really useful so that you can have that ability to kind of cut through the indecision and go, right, I'm going to have this, I'm going to start with that. But generally just really tapping into what it is that's on the periphery of your mind. what it is that actually, when you're going downstairs, when you open that fridge, that very first thing you see, or that first thing in the cupboard, and actually just really doing your best to tap into what your body is authentically wanting in that moment. It's really, really important. And actually, the you who does that, yes, eating disorder may well have all kinds of tantrums. We have to remember that's kind of the point in recovery, which is easy to forget sometimes because it's crap to be existing and living through that civil war and through the eating disorder backlash. But we have to remember your job in recovery is to be pissing your eating disorder off, but also the you who is actually leaning into what your body is wanting and who is honouring that hunger is going to experience that place where, yes, your eating disorder is having all kinds of tantrums, but your body is saying, thank you, yes. And that may well come with physical discomfort, it may well come with being overly full, it may well come with all sorts of symptoms that are experienced in the journey of recovery and in the restoration and the refeeding process. But that critical thing where actually, although it's hard, where the eating disorder is stamping its feet and screaming and shouting, that core you that knows, yeah, I did what I need to do. I got up, I went downstairs, I honoured my hunger, I am satisfied. This is hard. Eating disorder is having a tantrum. That doesn't feel very good. And actually I don't feel very comfortable. I've got gas, I've got bloating, I feel a bit this, I've got hot sweats, whatever it is that you're experiencing. There is that core truth of, I know that that was what I was meant to do. I know that I have done the right thing from a recovery perspective. And actually, although there can be all of that stuff going on, when you do act to create that truth, there is some level of, okay, some level of contentment, some level of groundedness, some level of certainty that does create a little bit of a sort of shield against all of the stuff that is going on. And that's something that's really, really valuable to hold on to. The final thing I want to say in this video, and again, I think it's an important thing to remember, is if you are someone who does find yourself, say, and this could be happening whether it's when you're just first going to bed, whether you're waking up in the night, or whether you're waking up really early in the morning and your brain is instantly going, breakfast, breakfast. Now, what we can predict is that eating disorder is maybe going to pipe up with some compensatory style thinking, some juggling style thinking. And what I mean by that is the you who wakes up and it's 3:30 in the morning and your brain is going, breakfast, the you who recognises that, who is going, okay, right, I'm hungry, I need to go and eat breakfast. And then instantly there are those juggling, compensatory, eating disorder driven thoughts of, but what do I do when it is breakfast? What do I do when it comes to that? What am I going to have then? I really want you to hold on to in that moment the reality that food is unconditionally permitted and it is unrestricted, and that that is something that you have to show your body through your actions, not just tell yourself. So what that means in that moment is saying very firmly to yourself, later on, I'm in recovery. I'm going to be honouring my hunger, eating without restriction. Breakfast is going to happen. Whether it's breakfast 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, doesn't matter. That's happening. Right now, I am hungry. And the only thing that you can do in that moment that aligns with recovery is to get up and go and honour that. And that's the thing that's really important. Bringing yourself back into the now is such a valuable tool in recovery. And it works both in this setting where we're talking about hunger at nighttime, but also in literally every other setting in recovery. Really forcing yourself to bring your attention back into now and thinking, right now I'm in recovery. Right now I have to make it my mission to show my brain and my body that food is abundantly available and unrestricted. And I have to give myself unconditional permission to eat whatever, whenever, and as much as I want, to honour all of my hunger. I have to do that in the now. And actually by doing that, by being firm with yourself about the future, about those juggling thoughts of, no, that's later, and later I'm in recovery and I'm going to be doing that, but right now I'm hungry. It's a really amazing tool to bring that focus, to centre your attention, and to help with the clarity in terms of what you need to be doing in this moment. So, to summarise this video, basically, if you are someone who is waking up at night time or struggling to go to sleep or waking up really early in the morning because you are hungry, you need to get up and go and honour that. And whether that is in snacks in the drawer beside your bed, or whether that is going downstairs to cook yourself something, make yourself something downstairs, whatever. You need to go and honour it. And if you are at that point where you are noticing yourself waking up a lot, but you're maybe not having made that connection of I'm hungry. And if you are someone who's at the point where you're noticing that you're waking up a lot through the night, but you maybe haven't opened your mind to the possibility that it could be that you're hungry as the reason why that's happening, I invite you to get curious about maybe this is part of it. Asking yourself, checking in with yourself in those moments. Am I hungry? Could I eat? Be curious about checking in with yourself and open your arms to whatever it is that comes out of that curiosity. And if you have even a flicker of maybe, I encourage you to go and act in alignment with this is hunger. Because it's one of the things that helped me a lot in my recovery journey, which was noticing, if in doubt, act for recovery. If in doubt, you're hungry. You know, it's a really, really valuable thing that if you do get curious and you ask yourself, am I waking up because I'm hungry? And there's just even a little flicker. Take it as a yes. Take it as a right, okay, let's go see. Let's go downstairs, let's go and get that stuff. Let's put snacks on the bedside table. Let's eat those snacks. Let's do that. Get curious. Listen to your body and know that you can trust your body. It's not waking you up at night, keeping you awake because of some malicious plan or some evil intention. It's because of that hierarchy of needs and because right now your body is saying food is more important to me in this moment than sleep. And that's not for any other reason than the fact that your body is hungry, and that actually the you who leans into that and honours it, that will shift and your sleep will begin to improve very naturally, very organically, as your body starts to go, okay, actually, we're moving back into a place now where food and sleep is equal, and maybe moving to a place at times where sleep takes priority. So listen to your body, trust the recovery process, and go and honour that hunger. I hope this helps, and I really look forward to speaking to you again very soon.